forward to continuing this journey with you. Merry Christmas. Wishing you and your family a Happy New Year from Renewal by Anderson.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
City driving might feel routine, but it's tough on your car. All those quick starts, hard stops, endless red lights, and long idle times. They wear things down fast. Brakes, fluids, engine components, they all take a beating. That's where Al's D&I Repair in Rapid City comes in. We handle the maintenance that keeps your vehicle ready for whatever the city throws at it. Al's D&I, fixing it right since 77. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Hey, volleyball families, get ready to serve up some fun at the Wautiki Spike-tacular Volleyball Tournament February 13th through 15th at the Box Elder Event Center. Experience high-energy matches, glow-in-the-dark games Friday night, and exciting play all weekend long. Compete in 14U, 16U, or 18U divisions for a shot at the trophy. Stay and play with 25% off rooms at Courtyard by Marriott and water park passes included. Register now at thebox.live.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Tragic news from the world of NASCAR. Former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife and 2 children were among 7 people who were killed in a plane crash today in Statesville, North Carolina. The plane, a multi-engine Cessna 550, crashed while attempting to return to Statesville Regional Airport shortly after taking off. Greg Biffle was 55 years old. In the National Football League today, the Green Bay Packers listed running back Josh Jacobs and receiver Christian Watson as questionable for Saturday's game at Chicago. The Bears ruled out receivers Rome Odunze and Luther Burden. The Philadelphia Eagles ruled out offensive lineman Lane Johnson and defensive lineman Jalen Carter for Saturday's game at Washington. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson returned to practice today after missing 2 months because of an eye injury. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, let's get going. Welcome in, everybody, across the state on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates. We appreciate you tuning in on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, also right here live, Fox Sports Rapid City. It is always a great day in South Dakota. I know I say that every day. You have to, and you have to believe that when you get winds at 100 miles an hour. Hang on to your vehicles, hang on to your hats. Rough stuff across South Dakota. That's why we're tougher than a $2 steak. I do hope everybody's all right out there. Some damage and all that stuff from the windstorm the last day or so. So hope you're doing good. Thanks for making us part of your day. The Nate Brown Show is back. Glad to be here on this Thursday. It is a packed show tonight with great guests across the board. We'll go FCS. We'll go picks for the weekend. We'll go Thursday happy hour with our guest host, Rob Kegron. Let's get going. South Dakota Sports Talk Show back and ready. The Nate Brown Show streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Watch us there at Nate Brown Show. Check in on the show. Also YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. We've got it. It's live right now. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. You can subscribe. We'd appreciate it. And then Midwest Sports Plus, another way to watch the show live right now. The new high school sports streaming app is called Midwest Sports Plus in South Dakota, and this show live right now. Download it on your phone, and you've got us on Midwest Sports Plus. A packed show tonight. Let's look at the guest lineup. We'll get popping. A lot of content to go on this Thursday for you, from high school to college to the pros. Hey, I had a high school coach text me. This guy I respect a lot. He gave me the top 2 boys basketball teams in all of the state in the entire state. This coach told me these are the top 2 teams, and I'm going to dig into that and more. Let's go to the weekend games. Lee Sterling's going to join us. It is a Thursday with Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, one of the top handicappers in the country. He'll give his take on a lot of games, from bowl games to the college football playoff to the NFL. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, coming up from Miami. We'll go to Bozeman tonight. I do want to get an update on the FCS semifinal. People are interested in Bobcats, Grizz, you bet, in the FCS scene. We'll go to Bozeman. Victor Flores, his read on the Bobcats and Grizz and the FCS playoffs the rest of the way. Illinois State goes to Villanova. Victor Flores is with 406 MT Sports. He's live from Bozeman, Montana. Tonight, it is happy hour. Hang on for Rob Kegron. He's back in on a Thursday. Our guest host in the second hour, it's a Rob Kegron happy hour Thursday. The Nate Brown Show takes your calls. You bet. If you want to join the conversation, we'll do that. It's powered by the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. Get that number in tonight, 605-720-1067. The Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. A couple of locations to drop by this week. Brandon, location's outstanding. Stop by in Brandon. Also, East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, the Pizza Ranch East. And 2 locations in Rapid City, home of everyone's favorite buffet. It is the Pizza Ranch. Barron's Wilson text line open tonight as well. Same number. Text the show. We'll get you on your take, your hot takes on the windy Thursday. 605-720-1067. That is the Barron's Wilson listener text line. A couple of things I want to get into tonight. Let's start the show with something that I addressed earlier, and now I'm not shifting my mind here. I'm not changing my mind. I'm not Colin Cowherd where I can't stand Bo Nix. I mean, I can't stand him. I'm going to draft another QB, and then now Bo Nix is a right-handed Steve Young. I'm not that hot take guy from 1 month to the next. I'm not that hot take guy from 1 week to the next, but I do have a question tonight. So we're going to watch the college football playoff tomorrow. You got Alabama, Oklahoma. My wife said, hey, what do we want to do Friday night? There's no basketball tournaments, anything like this. So what do we want to do? You want to do? And I go, there's Alabama, Oklahoma. So so I kind of want to watch that. We're going to be watching tomorrow night. And why? South Dakota Pride and Kalen DeBoer, right? You're with me. So I'm always rooting for Kalen DeBoer. Quality guy, love the character, love the leadership and his background. We know Kalen, and I root for him. Now, I've got a question tonight. I told you earlier when this deal popped last week, a week ago, what happened a week ago? Michigan went into disarray. I got a beat writer on from Ann Arbor on this show, and I said, who would be the top coaching candidate now that the Sharon Moore is a mess? Who would be the guy? The Michigan Wolverines beat writer said, the search starts with Kalen DeBoer. And I said last week, I don't think Kalen DeBoer is going to do it. I don't know Kalen. I don't text him and talk to him like some of these folks. I've got his number. Kalen, I don't want to bug you. You got a big game tomorrow night. I just thought, just from my perspective, I think Kalen, with some loyalty and just kind of the guy I've seen him be and the job that he has at Alabama, I thought he'll just stay at Alabama. Everybody's been trying to kick him out of there for a year, and he's doing well. He's in the college football playoff. He's gonna stay at Alabama. That's what I said last week. Now, I do have a thought here tonight. This is what didn't factor in. What if Kalen DeBoer and Alabama loses tomorrow night? What's the first reaction that's going to be happening in the national media and in Tuscaloosa and everything? People are going to lose their minds. It always happens with Kalen. They lose a game and people lose their minds. It will be no different tomorrow night. Alabama has to play Oklahoma, and I believe Alabama wins that. I do believe that. I think Alabama's better. I think Oklahoma's a little iffy. I'm not all in on Oklahoma. Alabama, I think, is going to win. But that does set this up. If Alabama loses tomorrow night, now let me tell you, it's going to get, again, oh boy, they got bounced. First round, Alabama's the 9 seed. Are you kidding me? Is this good enough? And The Alabama fans go from, hey, we like Kalen. We want him to stay. This is he's got us going, man. We don't want him to go to Michigan. And then tomorrow night, they'll bail. Tomorrow night, they'll bail in a second, in an absolute second. So then I bring this up tonight. Why? I'm just thinking as we're 24 hours away from Kalen DeBoer, Alabama, Oklahoma, would you then give a second look and consideration to that Michigan search? And I have a feeling if I was Kalen DeBoer, I'm not, you're not, I'm going to ask you tonight. Our question of the day on the Nate Brown Show as we start tonight. Question of the day. Hey, tonight's the night I want to give away a buffet to the Pizza Ranch as well for your answers on the question of the day. We've done that to our loyal listeners of the past couple of weeks. The Pizza Ranch, one of our great partners, we'll set you up with one free buffet at the Pizza Ranch. We got those coming in. We'll get those out. A little holiday cheer just for answering the question of the day. My question is this. It's specific. If you are Kalen DeBoer, and so I'm not telling you he's going to do this, I still believe he believes Alabama's the right place. We're going to do well here. It's a great job. Huge dollars, huge resources. This is the place. I still think he probably believes that. And if you're Kalen DeBoer, I think he still tries sticking with it. But would you consider something else? Would you take a second look at Michigan? Because it's just never good enough in Alabama. At least with Kalen DeBoer, because he stepped into the legend shoes. And so anytime there's a hiccup, people just lose their minds. That's just the SEC. That's just Alabama. They call the Paul Feinbaum show and they go crazy. And so I'm not telling you Michigan's easy, but Michigan would, they say, want Kalen DeBoer. That's what the writer told me last week. Hey, it starts with Kalen. You got to try and get him. If they say, here's a lot of money, we got the resources, you've been here in the Big Ten before, it's time to take Michigan to a great place again. We're not that far off. We got the quarterback. We got this whole thing. Would you take a second look at the Michigan job? That's my question of the day on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Answer the question of the day, if you would, 605-720-1067. Would you take a second look at the Michigan job? Okay? That's what I'd like to know. We'll set you up if you want to get in with a free buffet at the Pizza Ranch. We'll pull one out tonight off the listener text line, 605-720-1067. If you're Kalen DeBoer, if you are, and you lose tomorrow, and here comes the heat again every time, would you take a second look and think, you know what? Maybe Michigan is a good spot. Maybe I do it. What do you say? Thanks for getting in. You're live, and you go ahead.
Well, I'm staying.
You're staying at Alabama?
If I'm Kalen DeBoer.
Why?
What's Michigan football, Nate?
They're not that far.
No, let's count the championships. I'm just not talking during Jim Harbaugh, and he beat Ohio State 2 times or whatever. But honestly, what is Michigan football? Alabama has been in the top 10, top 15 for 20, 25 straight years?
Yeah, and that's a tough spot to be if you don't keep winning.
Well, Nate, you're making $12 million.
No, that's nice. Michigan will match that. They'll match it.
What's Michigan? I mean, honestly, it's like Dylan Raiola. I'm here in LSU, and I'm like, Lane Kiffin ain't going to take him.
Oh.
That kid hasn't won nothing.
Well, Michigan has won lately, and you know that. You know that.
Oh, Nate, so is Sioux Falls O'Gorman. So has South High School in soccer. But, it's not every year.
All right.
And honestly, Jim Harbaugh, I love the guy. He cheated. Let's be honest. He got caught cheating.
And then
really, how good was Michigan?
Well, that's interesting you say that. Interesting.
Nick Saban never got caught cheating.
Interesting. You bring that up.
So Jim Harbaugh don't know how to cheat, is what I'm saying.
All right. I see where you're at. Appreciate you, man.
So what? He's won 5 years. Alabama's won 25. And they're not going to get rid of him. They don't. If he does, good. Hey, what's his buyout? $50 million?
Well, it's probably pretty healthy. I think he's going to be okay. Thanks, man. I appreciate
it's like
you.
Patrick Mahomes, I hope he's gone for the year, next year or two. Travis
Hang
Kelce,
on. Don't hit everybody tonight. All right. Thanks for getting in. I appreciate you. 605-720-1067 is our number. If you're Kalen DeBoer, would you just give a second look at the Michigan job if you go down tomorrow night? I'm just telling you guys, just get ready. If they lose tomorrow, it's an if they lose to Oklahoma tomorrow night, the Kalen DeBoer train is going to be talked about again on Monday. It's going to be talked about right before Christmas. Oh, boy. Just get ready. It's going to be on First Take. It's going to be should Kalen DeBoer, is he out at Alabama? Are they upset they got bounced by Oklahoma? It's a sad state. It's coming. And that's why people, they want to kick him out of Alabama, the national media and all the people. I've always thought, let's let the guy do a good job there. He's stepping in for a legend. Things were kind of going down a little bit with Nick Saban at the end. They weren't at the top. And so let's hang tight here. I'm not telling that Kalen DeBoer will take it. He said, I'm staying at Alabama. But that's now. And then here comes the heat tomorrow night. If they lose, what do you do? Hey, let's get in here. Listener text, no way I stay in Alabama. No way I stay in Alabama. Let's see. I wouldn't even take the Michigan call right now. I have $80 million from Alabama. Michigan's a little bit better than Nebraska. Michigan's a little bit better than Nebraska? I think they're a lot better than Nebraska right now, anyway. Lister text, he should absolutely look around because the talent in college football is so spread out and diluted now. He's never going to live up to the prior legend at Alabama with all the parity that exists today. All right. That's interesting. People are kind of close on this. You tell me. I'll set you up with a free buffet at the Pizza Ranch, our partners, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Answer the question of the day tonight. If you're Kalen DeBoer, do you think about the Michigan job? Give it a second look after the circumstances may change a little bit. Right now, everybody's happy. And if Alabama wins, they get Indiana. And then, maybe they'll be okay losing to Indiana, but I'm thinking not. So either way, I mean, the pressure cooker at Alabama is just off the chain. And especially for Kalen DeBoer. I mean, he's getting treated unfairly by the Alabama fans and by the media. He's been treated unfairly from the start. They went ballistic last year, and now they started whining right away. So they're going to do it again tomorrow night if they lose at Oklahoma, and they're going to be pouting. So then that's where people think maybe he should think about it. 56% of you say just stay in Alabama. That's the job. 44% of you say, yes, I would consider Michigan again. Yeah, he said he hasn't considered it. He's not considering it. But he's got to say that now. Alabama's getting ready to play tomorrow. And I believe Kalen probably wants to stay at Alabama, wants to see it through. It's going to get hot again because people are going to lose their minds if Alabama goes down. Nothing's good enough for them unless they make a run at the national title. That's what Nick Saban set up for the next guy. Nothing's good enough for them unless they're in the national championship. I believe that. That's what I said. Oklahoma loss tomorrow is really bad. Then you lose to number 1 Indiana. They're still going to say, how did we get beat by Indiana? We're Alabama. How did we get... Just watch. It's just going to happen. I'm going to predict it right here tonight. Speaking of moving, I got a quick one here. USD had a nice running back, right? So this just happened just now before we came on the show tonight. USD LJ Phillips, this running back, he stepped in because the USD running back got hurt. So then this LJ Phillips steps in and has a huge year. New offensive lineman, the whole thing. I really like the way the guy played. Over 1,900 yards, 18 touchdowns. LJ Phillips, running back for the Yotes, was really good. Guess what? He gone. So LJ Phillips is going to go to the transfer portal. That was just reported this afternoon. So here's the thing. There's stories like Chase Mason at South Dakota State. They stay. Tucker Kraft stays. Aiden Bauman, the QB at USD, he decided, he's like, I'm going to stick this out. I'm going to go with the Yotes again. There's some of those stories. There's more of the other way. Stars that have big years at the FCS schools, they're going to take an opportunity, and you can't blame the players. So LJ Phillips had a huge year. I don't know what type of offers he's getting. He obviously knows. So he's going to go to the transfer portal here January 2nd. So USD's star running back, we'll see if they can bring their guy who got hurt back. He's a nice player. So the guy who got hurt and opened the door for LJ Phillips, now this guy had a huge year for the Yotes, and he's transferring. So you guys tell me, all of these guys, they lost O linemen, D linemen. They lost the defensive player of the year last year to Kentucky. Do you go to Kentucky, I think? So USD's lost the defensive player of the year last year. They lose the leading rusher this year. These are top-tier guys. And we just think the FCS programs can keep on filling the gap. It's like, it's impossible. I mean, the FCS schools just get hosed on this. And people say, well, the FCS programs, their job is to get these guys ready for big opportunities. Oh, bull. These guys' job is to have an FCS program that's top tier competing for a national championship. They're not worried about hoping this guy gets ready for a D1 FBS offer. Oh, they're supposed to be developing. They should be proud moving guys on to the next level. Give me a break. So what happens to the FCS schools is absolutely a tragedy. The FCS schools, they can't stay in this game when they lose their best players every year. So there's got to be, I don't know what you can do here. It's bad. The FCS schools have to fill, and you got Coach Johansson and Coach Jackson. He loses all the guys to Washington State. And then everybody whined, hey, what happened to South Dakota State? Well, everybody leaves. So now USD loses their best running back for the year. And no punishment to the FBS schools. They just get to take the guys, pay them, and everybody should have fun. Develop the players for the next programs. That's fun, isn't it? What a bad deal. Coming right back with 5 questions from Chris tonight. Oh, it's a busy Thursday show. Our loyal listener, Chris, sends me 5 questions. I've got some answers as we continue on South Dakota Sports Talk Show.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback Credit Card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
Shop the best deals of the season at Splash City and create the ultimate game night all year round. Challenge family and friends with the smooth glide of a shuffleboard puck gliding across the table, or reign champion with a Brunswick pool table. With free local delivery and setup and either 0% financing or a free gift, you only have until Christmas Eve to stop into your local Splash City to learn more about these amazing deals.
Visit Splash City in Sioux Falls, Rapid City, or Sioux City. It's time to make a splash. You've earned it.
Attention football fans, the BetMGM Sportsbook at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort has it all. Watch your team on massive high-definition screens while enjoying live betting. Keep some skin in the game even when the odds don't go your way. Enter Jack's Second Chance Mulligan Drawing by dropping your losing ticket for a shot at up to $200 in Cadillac cash every week. Satisfy your craving with mouth-watering Mexican cuisine from Guadalajara's, or choose from 4 other food vendors, all while sipping on your favorite drinks. The BetMGM Sportsbook at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your game play out?
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows level off around 24. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the south, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies again. Tomorrow, rain likely, 61. Mixed precipitation likely. Tomorrow night, lows level off around 27, mainly cloudy. A dusting of snow tomorrow night. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 28 degrees.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Out here, we have a deeper connection to the land, a stronger connection to our neighbors, standing on our own 2 feet while also working together. The power to do more connects us all. At member-owned West River Electric Association, it's all of us working together to make today and tomorrow better. This is Co-op Country.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Hey, welcome back in. Glad you're here tonight, Thursday edition. We're still on the air. With all the wind, the tower, the show has survived. That's good. I hope you've survived as well. Saw some damage across western South Dakota. High winds across the state. Wild, man. Wild. Record winds in Rapid City. Just something else. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live tonight. Good stuff. We'll go to Bozeman for the FCS preview. Victor Flores covering the Bobcats Grizz. That's a big matchup. They haven't met in the playoffs like this. So that's huge. In Bozeman, coming up, Victor Flores, straight ahead, Bobcat beat writer, talk FCS playoffs. We'll get some picks for the weekend from Lee Sterling. He's going to break it down tonight from Paramount Sports. He's live from Miami. And it's a Thursday happy hour with our friend Rob Kagron, our guest host in the second hour, packed with Rob tonight. A lot of content. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, powered by Black Hills Federal Credit Union, literally my family's banking partner, so easy to talk about them. I don't have to make anything up, I'll tell you that much, because I use everything they have. The great rates on vehicle loans, we've done that. Personal, business, the mobile app I've got on my phone allows me to track the money. How much are we spending? How much is my daughter spending? Hey, it's the best, and it's really convenient. Personal service, it's just a great place to have in your side. Go to bhfcu.com. Become a member. Black Hills Federal Credit Union. Locations across the state. 18 locations from the Black Hills to Sioux Falls. Start at bhfcu.com. I did. I switched from my last bank. Right choice, no doubt. Really glad. bhfcu.com. Start there. Become a member at Black Hills Federal Credit Union. Let's get an update on the question of the day before I get to 5 questions from Chris tonight. Busy show. Let's get rocking. If you are Kalen DeBoer and you happen to lose tomorrow to Oklahoma in the college football playoff, would you take a second look at that Michigan offer? Word is Michigan still wants to come after Kalen DeBoer. Would you take a look at that Michigan job? To me, what happens tomorrow night, I think could have a factor on somebody because it always gets hot. I mean, one loss gets hot in Alabama. Oh, you made the playoff. Well, that's not good enough in Alabama. It's not good enough. So would you take a second look? Is Michigan the right place? 57% of the audience tonight voting no, Alabama's the right job. 43% of you said if you're Kalen DeBoer, you would take a second look at the Michigan job if you go down tomorrow night against Oklahoma. List of reaction from Eric. Absolutely not. Michigan's athletic department's a mess right now. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is true. You're in charge of football. You're going to have to run that program. There's a lot of resources there. I think they're going to get things ironed out at Michigan. It's a mess now. I don't know what they're going to do with the AD. So you got to do something with that. That AD on the football side has been something else. So I don't know about that deal with the AD, how long he's in this game either. But that's the question of the day. If you want to answer it, I'd appreciate it. We've got a free buffet at Pizza Ranch up for grabs. Your answers on the question of the day on the text line, 605-720-1067. That's how you get in touch with us. We'll pull a winner out. Would you take a second look at the Michigan job if you're Kalen DeBoer and you go down to Oklahoma tomorrow? 605-720-1067. Hey, let's do this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
Hey, Chris, thanks for sending them in. Let's knock them down on a Thursday night. Chris is our loyal listener to the Nate Brown Show over all the years, and he sends me 5 questions. Question number 1. Let's see what I got tonight. Nate, John Bryce said on your show that the college football playoff could expand to 16 teams by next season. If they do expand to 16 and they do the Big Ten model with automatic qualifiers for each conference, should the Big Ten just get rid of their conference championship game and do a play-in into the playoff? Yeah, I think that's how it should be. I would do that in the Big Ten, the SEC. These conference championships would mean nothing then. They just mean like seeding, I guess. So if you have 16 teams in the playoff, Chris, then you have automatic qualifiers. The model would be like 4 automatic from the Big Ten, 4 automatic from the SEC. So what does it matter if I'm in the Big Ten title game? Seeding, I guess. That's really... Even the Ohio State-Indiana thing didn't feel big to me. It was a big game, but it was like, well, they're both in now. So, yes, do a play-in game to get that 4th spot. How about that? Do a play-in game if you do that. I would like to see it. They've thrown that around. So I would like to see some interest in early December instead of, hey, we got automatic qualifiers in now, so why are we playing these conference championship games? 5 questions from Chris. Question number 2. Nate, what do you think of the NBA? They started that 2-minute report on officiating for every game. When games are close, it's to increase transparency with calls or non-calls and things that are missed by the referees. Yeah, what do I think of that? The NBA started this, if you follow it at all. So games that are close, they look at the last 2 minutes, and then they give a report. This call was right. This call was wrong. Who cares? I think it's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, hey, people complain about the NBA refs anyway, so let's give them a report to complain even more. Just keep that in-house. Do the report. I'm saying that, Chris. Do the report. Keep it in-house on your official evaluations. And then you go through. It's like, hey, you guys struggled here, here, here. Why are they releasing that? Do you think that matters? It doesn't change the outcome. It just makes people mad. There's a huge business, the NBA. It's like, hey, let's give a report where we get things wrong and see if the fans like that when they lost by 2. Good idea. Question number 3. Nate, what about the 2026 World Cup? It's coming to the United States. A lot of tickets are expensive, $300 or more in the nosebleed seats. But FIFA's looking at making them affordable. Isn't that the theme? Yes, it needs to be. They're looking at having a set amount of World Cup tickets for $50. Is that right, Chris? I didn't see this. So $50 tickets. Do you think that they will keep this offer, the $50, and will it help quell the uproar about the ticket prices? Hey, I hope they do, I guess. I mean, we could go to Kansas City. That's the closest one. And I've thought about it. I have thought about it. 2026 World Cup. Do I want to go to Kansas City and watch one of these matches? $50, that's really easy to get in. So I don't know if you have to go even that low, but $50, you want to watch the World Cup? Nobody should complain about that. Now, I don't know if you can put a cap on stuff. Like, people are like, yeah, we'll put a cap on it. I mean, I know FIFA makes, $10 billion? So they're not making enough money, apparently. Thanks for the $50. So it'll be $50 to get into the World Cup, Chris. It'll be $50 for a hot dog. So it evens out. Question number 4. Speaking of the World Cup, some of those stadiums, the Cowboys, the Falcons, the Giants, they're going to have to put grass fields in. Yeah, that's right. FIFA said they're only going to play on grass. You're not going to play turf. So Cowboy Stadium, Giants Stadium, they're going to put natural grass surfaces in. The grass turf will begin to get installed in January. Do you think the NFL teams will then switch to grass fields in the future, or will they go back to their artificial turfs? I don't think they will stay. Like, you got Atlanta, an indoor stadium. I don't think they're going to go real grass in there. I think they're just going to go back to turf. They're going to say, hey, we can maintain it. We don't have to have natural grass. We're indoors, the whole thing. I think that the stadiums that switch, Cowboy Stadium, they're going to switch to natural grass. They'll go back to turf. I think they're going to go back to turf. It's really amazing that they're putting natural grass in just for the World Cup. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris tonight. Question number 5. Nate, Christmas is coming up. NFL fans will be watching 2 out of the 3 Christmas games on Netflix, and then the third game's on Amazon. So all games are streaming. This is the second year of the Christmas games on Netflix. Do you think some of the big media partners like CBS will request future Christmas games and a new deal coming up? Well, they should. You got to think about how big was that Chiefs-Cowboys game on Thanksgiving for CBS? This is the biggest audience ever, right? For a regular season game. So the Chiefs-Cowboys was a huge audience. And you're telling me CBS and Fox and these guys paying huge dollars to the NFL, they don't get the prime time? They don't get Christmas games? Because they get sold out to Netflix, who pays an unbelievable amount for 2 games? So, yeah, if I'm CBS and Fox, I want a Christmas game, but the NFL's going to go, wait, we make even more by giving it to Netflix. So we got CBS, we got Fox, we got Netflix, we got Amazon. This streaming stuff, you guys love it. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Okay, I'm done yelling at the clouds for now. 5 questions from Chris. I've got a question of the day myself, and I do have a second question of the day I want to get your read on tonight. So the college football playoff games are coming up. I just saw somebody post this. Saturday is a huge day, right? You got college football playoff games all day. You got the FCS semifinal games, and then people are throwing in some college basketball games. So Saturday's like big-time sports day. You got NFL. You got Packers-Bears. So it's just Saturday's huge. And I saw, what are you going to watch? So I'm going to bring that into South Dakota. I want to know where you guys are at. Jacks fans, Yotes fans, everybody in between. Are you watching the college football playoff game Saturday, or are you watching the FCS semifinals? Because everybody's an FCS fan in the state. Are you gonna hang with Illinois State and Villanova, or are you gonna go to James Madison and Oregon? I hate to break it to you. I think a lot of people are gonna go James Madison, Oregon. What about earlier in the day? Are you going to go Ole Miss, Tulane? Or are you going to go Grizz, Bobcats? I'm going to go back and forth on that. I will admit to you on that. I'm a Montana native, so I know the Grizz, I know the Bobcats, so that rivalry intrigues me. I think the atmosphere is going to be off the charts in Bozeman. So I'm going to be checking in on that, but you better believe I'm going to be going back and forth. But I do want to ask you that. What are you watching most? Don't give me this, I got 2 TVs, 5 TVs, whatever it is. You're going to stream the Netflix games over here on Christmas, and then, oh, wait, they're only on Netflix. Anyway, so don't give me that. I just want to know, what are you watching Saturday, the FCS or the college football playoff? Be honest with me. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. FCS Saturday or college football playoff Saturday? Coming right back, Lee Sterling making his picks for the weekend. Which way Lee is going on the biggest games for you coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
This holiday season, Renewal by Andersen wants to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to our valued customers. Thank you for choosing us to be part of your home. Whether you're peeking out your window to watch the snow or welcoming friends through your front door, we're honored to be part of your story. Sending warm wishes to you and your loved ones in the hope that 2026 brings you health and happiness. From everyone at Renewal by Andersen, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, good stuff tonight. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Keep telling yourself that as the wind whips. Man, it was whipping. It is whipping. Tough stuff in South Dakota. 80 miles an hour. I saw 100 miles an hour. Hurricane force winds in South Dakota. Hope everybody's surviving out there and not too much damage and all that stuff. Hang tight. Better weather to come, it looks like. Better weather. Are we going to have a brown Christmas, though? That's all right. I'll take 60. I'll take it. That's what it looks like. Maybe. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is live on Fox Sports Radio across the state from Rapid City to Sioux Falls. We have Lee Sterling in tonight. Paramount Sports. He's done it all season long, trying to get you some winners. He's had a nice season at ParamountSports.com. And he's here on the Nate Brown Show. Lee, how are you?
I'm good.
couple more shows today and tomorrow, and then I pick up my daughter tomorrow night, and she's in for a couple weeks, and going to spend some time with the family and celebrate my birthday and all the holidays and watch and bet on a lot of football.
I love that. I'll take that. By the way, I have a new empathy for you. You're in Florida. You've dealt with hurricanes. Well, you had a 100-mile-an-hour wind here last night. 100.
Wow. Let me tell you something. So I have a basketball court, and I had my lights come down just probably about 15 years ago when that happened, and just like 90 to mile an hour, it was a level 1 hurricane, and people think that can't do some damage. That can take down a lot of trees.
Oh my gosh!
Take down a bunch of trees.
Yo, for sure. It's been a mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
Then I've been in Hurricane Andrew, which had tornadoes in it. Was in between 165 and 235 mile an hour winds, and I've seen houses literally all that was left was a cinder block. So
it's unbelievable.
My heart goes out to anyone who's affected by anything. Any kind of weather like that.
We're not used to that, that's for sure.
No.
Lee Sterling on tonight. Okay, let's get popping, man. We got some games. Yep. We got bowl games. We got NFL. Let's start with Minnesota, New Mexico. Now, New Mexico's had a nice year with Jason Eck. Minnesota, little up and down. They're favored by 2.5. What do you see?
I think that it comes down to here in the trenches, and I think Minnesota's just better here. Different level of competition. Give New Mexico credit. No one saw them making this kind of turnaround in year one, but they're going to have to be turnover-free to have a chance here, hit on some big plays, and maybe hit on a trick play or two, but I don't think it's going to happen here. As long as Minnesota is semi-motivated, I think they're the right side. I think they win and cover this game, something like 30-20.
Okay, so you're going to go Gophers over the Lobos. Minnesota just favored by 2.5. Okay, Michigan's in a mess. I don't know how they're preparing for this game. Texas has been pretty good on the bubble of the playoff. Longhorns favored by 7.5 against the Wolverines.
Well, here's what's interesting. Texas could be without 6 or 7 starters on defense that are going to opt out here. So, that could certainly tilt the scale back the other way. I know Sharon Smith, their coach is gone, and those things happen, but it's not like it happened a day or two ago. These kids can recover. And last year, Michigan took down Alabama in a bowl game. So, give Texas credit. They beat A&M. But if Texas doesn't beat A&M and Michigan plays Ohio State closer, this is probably a 2 to 3 point line here. I think the wrong team is favored. In bowl games, if you have a conviction on playing the underdogs, also put a quarter to a third of your wager on the money line. You see some big underdogs come in during the bowl season. I think Michigan wins this game right, 28-20.
Wow, you're going to go Michigan. I didn't see that, but interesting intel on it. Texas, some of the top guys out. Arch Manning is coming back to play for Texas next year. You're going to go Wolverines there. Okay, tomorrow night. I had a question of the day on this on the show. I said, hey, Kalen DeBoer saying, I'm staying at Alabama. This is where I'm at. I did say, what if Alabama loses tomorrow? Does he think about, oh, man, it's hot down here. Maybe I look at Michigan. So Alabama, I think, should win, but they're favored by 1. How's this breakdown?
So the line has actually changed now. So Oklahoma's the favorite. Line has swung in the last 18 hours. And maybe for good reason here. I mean, Oklahoma has the better defense. I told everyone before the Georgia game that Alabama's in trouble. I think Georgia's going to dominate them. Their offensive line has given up 10 sacks in the last 3 games. Ty Simpson had a bad back, and he doesn't look right. And so you got the home team, better defense in Oklahoma, and I think Oklahoma has some really special teams and a great kicker, maybe the best in the country, in Tate Sandell. This guy's money inside of 65 yards. So I think Alabama's in trouble here. I like Oklahoma. The right team is favored. Oklahoma lay the 1 to 1.5. They win and cover 24-20.
Okay. Wow. You're going to Oklahoma at home. That would be tough for Alabama to take, I think. Lee Sterling's on. Find him at ParamountSports.com. Let's go NFL. Saturday night, Packers, Bears. Boy, it's a great game. Packers favored by 1.5 points. NFC North is tight here. Both need it.
Yeah, I mean, if Green Bay couldn't touch quarterback Bo Nix, what makes you think that they're going to sack all of a sudden, Caleb Williams without Michael Parsons? I mean, they couldn't even get close to the guy, so that's a big problem. Also, Christian Watson in the first game, great game plan that LaFleur had. He's running him across the formation and making safeties for the Bears cover him, and he burned him for 2 touchdowns, but he's not 100%. Chicago, I thought they could have sent the game to overtime 2 weeks ago. I thought the 4th down play, 4th and 1, was masterful. The problem was Caleb Williams waited too long to throw the ball and underthrew the ball, or else we have a tie game and we're going to overtime. The first game, the Bears, 35 passes, only 27 rushes. I think you're going to see that flip here. I think they're going to control the ball, use those two guards in center, which are in the top 5, top 6 here. They're going to ram it down Green Bay's throat here. I thought they were the better team a couple weeks ago at home. Give me the Bears, 28-20.
Okay, wow. Yeah. So you're going home team again. Bears, the underdog. You're going to go Bears to win outright. Okay, Broncos, Jaguars. Jaguars are playing well. Trevor Lawrence is playing well. Broncos had maybe their best game of the year against the Packers. Now they're favored by 3 in Denver.
Yeah, and here's the problem for Jacksonville, and I think what they've done in 1 year is great. They've won the last 5 games straight up and against the spread, but haven't played anyone. Just look at the game last week. They played the Jets. Trevor Lawrence had 6 touchdown passes. He may not have 6 touchdown passes in the last 3 games here. They've won 4 of the last 5 games by 17, 22, 28, and 29 points. Now they got to play in altitude against Denver, got to face the number 3 run defense, and if that doesn't work and they can't run the ball and use play action effectively, I mean, they're going to go against one of the best pass rushes we've seen in the NFL, 2 lockdown corners here, and all of a sudden, Sean Payton's got confidence here in Bo Nix, so this is going to be really tough. I think Trevor Lawrence throws 2 or 3 interceptions in this game. Blowout city here. Denver big, 30-13 over Jacksonville.
Wow, you don't believe in the Jags, at least against the Broncos. Lee Sterling, before we run tonight, your game of the week that you'll give people is the Vikings-Giants. Vikings have won a couple in a row. They're out of the running, but Vikings favored by 3.
Yep, they want to get this game for free. Just call 800-400-9741. Neither team's going to the playoffs, but I love one side here, Vikings and Giants. First 5 callers, call 800-400-9741. Give them the game for free, and we're on a roll. Won 13 of the last 15 weekends in college football and the NFL. Check out all the specials. Just one place, ParamountSports.com. And Nate, I want to wish you and your staff and all the listeners out there a happy, healthy, and a safe holiday.
Same to you, Lee. It's been fun, and we'll talk to you again around Super Bowl time. Lee Sterling on tonight, ParamountSports.com. You want that Vikings-Giants pick, he'll give that to you. So a lot of Vikings fans across the state, he'll give you Vikings-Giants, which side he leans. Vikings favored by 3. It's only on the Nate Brown Show, 800-400-9741. He said, first 5 callers there? So 800-400-9741. You got your phone handy. You can call Lee Sterling right now. He'll give you the Vikings-Giants for free. Vikings favored by 3. So he's going to go Oklahoma to beat Alabama tomorrow. He's going to go the Bears to beat the Packers Saturday. And he's taking my Broncos to take care of the Jaguars pretty easily. And then his big upset in the bowl there was Michigan beating Texas. Michigan, through all the mess. It's so odd when college guys like, how are they dealing with this, the team and stuff? I have no idea. I have no clue. Michigan, he takes Michigan to beat Texas. Does Texas show up now that they're left out of the college football playoffs? So Paramount Sports, Lee Sterling on tonight with some picks for the upcoming bowl games and the NFL this weekend. Let's go to the FCS. Hey, my question of the day, we have people answering it. You want a shot at a free buffet to the Pizza Ranch, our local partners at East 10th Street in Sioux Falls, and location in Brandon, 2 locations in Rapid City. We'll set you up with a free buffet, 1 free buffet to the Pizza Ranch. Answer the question of the day. Which games will you be watching the most on Saturday? the FCS semifinals or the college football playoff. They're going to go right head-to-head against each other. Which ones are you watching? I want to know, the South Dakota sports fan. Which way are you going on that, FCS or college football playoff? Answer the question of the day on the text line, 605-720-1067. We'll get your answers in on that. We'll come back with Victor Flores. He's the Montana State Bobcat beat writer for 406 Montana Sports. He's covering Bobcats Grizz. We'll talk FCS coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
This holiday season, Renewal by Andersen wants to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude. To our valued customers, thank you for choosing us to be part of your home. Whether you're peeking out your window to watch the snow or welcoming friends through your front door, we're honored to be part of your story. Sending warm wishes to you and your loved ones in the hope that 2026 brings you health and happiness. From everyone at Renewal by Andersen, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Fox Sports Radio, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. The Nate Brown Show live. Hope you've managed the wind. I mean, it's been unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's a Thursday happy hour straight ahead, second hour with Rob Kegron live in studio. Our guest host, national radio host Rob Kegron, on his way in for Thursday happy hour. A lot to discuss tonight. A lot to discuss. Let's go to the FCS playoffs. No South Dakota State, no USD, No North Dakota State. We got Montana State, though. That's a great semifinal. Saturday afternoon in Bozeman. He covers the Bobcats. 406 MT Sports. So follow him for FCS content in this game coming up Saturday. 406 MT Sports. Victor Flores on tonight from Bozeman. Victor, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm jacked up. I don't have a dog in this fight, but it's so. I mean, the excitement is palpable for this upcoming game. I can't wait for Saturday.
I want to get your take on this because I'm from Montana originally, so I know Grizz, I know Cats, I know the Brawl of the Wild. It's a special rivalry at the end of the regular season. How do you think this is now with a playoff, with a national championship on the line? What's this like up there?
Yeah, many people have brought up the fact that this is up there, if not the biggest sporting event ever in Montana history. There was a fight long ago with Jack Dempsey that gets brought up as the other option. But when you think about what this means for the state of Montana and how many people are invested in these two teams and, in the athletes involved, it's incredible. And I mean, I've only gotten a taste of it for, my interactions. I'm not, going town to town or going everywhere in Bozeman to poll everybody or anything by those means. But it feels like there's a lot of nervous energy. There's just a lot of excitement from everybody. It's kind of hard to. Somebody the other day told me it's almost too much. It's almost overwhelming, and I think that's a pretty good way to put it.
Very interesting that you point that out. They are saying the biggest sporting event ever in the state of Montana coming up Saturday with the Grizz and the Bobcats battling for a shot in the national championship game. Victor Flores is going to be covering it, covers the Bobcats for 406 MT Sports here on the Nate Brown Show. So here's what's been discussed in the Dakotas. And Montana's been a part of this discussion, too. I've talked to Jim O'Day, former AD at Montana back in the day. Here's the discussion. Is the FCS still great? Is it still passionate? Is it still competitive? Or should North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and even the Montana schools, should they be ready to go FBS? Is there any of that talk up there, or are fans and everybody said FCS is fine even though a lot of teams have left? What's the feeling?
Yeah, I sense a lot of Montana State fans specifically, but, I think all Montana fans for both teams feel pretty conflicted, but a lot want to stay at this level, I think. The fact that there hasn't been a title, this will change in a few weeks if whoever wins this game goes on to win the title. I think that might feel a little different. There might be the side who wins. If they win the title, will feel like, hey, okay, we've accomplished that goal. Now let's move up to brighter pastures, to a richer level at the FBS. But no, I think there's most people. It's not hard to judge the exact amount, but I think a lot of people are very much in the feeling of, this is a good level for us. It's huge. You get to play for a title. And the fact that neither side has won a title in decades, the Grizz last in 2001 was the last title for them, and the Cats back in 1984. So I think that's the first step. I think if they become North Dakota State and start winning a bunch, even South Dakota State with the couple they've had in recent years, that might change. In fact, probably most people will change it a little bit, especially with it is a watered-down FCS compared to where it was a decade ago or so, several decades ago. And I think some of these road games you go to when there's nobody in the crowd and the Cats and the Grizz are beating up teams by multiple scores, by 40 points or whatever, I think that stuff will get tiring if they keep winning titles or win at least one. But I think that's, again, the first step is getting one title, and then they can start thinking about the next level.
Good stuff tonight. Victor Flores on. He covers the Bobcats. 406 MT Sports. It's a massive game Saturday in Bozeman. So Grizz haven't won these semifinal games in a long time. They haven't won on the road. It's kind of a struggle for them. How big of an advantage being in Bozeman do you think for Montana State?
Yeah, it's kind of twofold. You'd think it's got to be a huge one based off precedent, based off recent history. The Bobcats have won in Bozeman over the Grizz every year since 2015. So, it's been a decade, but that's not a ton of games. That's, 4 or 5? So it's not a huge amount. And as we just saw, that the road team, there was this stretch of road teams winning in the Brawl of the Wild, but the Bobcats just ended that streak in November when they went into Missoula and won 31-28. So I think that in a weird way, it's kind of making people feel confident about the Grizz because, well, if the home field advantage doesn't seem to be a thing in the rivalry anymore, at least it wasn't a month ago, well, maybe the Grizz can go in with how hot they're playing and go into Bozeman and win. I think it's so hard to know, and that's what's so tough and fun about the lead up to this is that we just have no clue. We didn't know if the Bobcats were going to win a month ago, just based off recent precedent, but we knew that streak was going to end eventually. This wasn't a long history of these things happening where the home team was always winning a ton. There have been a lot of road victories in this rivalry, so history would tell you, well, the Grizz have as good a shot as any team. But I think with how good the Cats are this season, number 2 seed, obviously been on a roll, 12 games in a row, and that environment, you talk to people out here, they say it used to not be that great of an environment, and now it really is. And they have this new scoreboard that the Grizz haven't faced yet, this big sound system, big scoreboard that really is able to elevate the in-person experience, the in-game experience. And it's going to be a raucous crowd. I mean, it's going to be probably the most attended game ever in the history of Bobcat Stadium. And the Grizz have only played 4 road games this season. Now, they've had mixed results, I'd say. They've won all of them, so that's a positive in their part, but they haven't played a team like Montana State either on the road, and certainly not in an environment like this. So it's an advantage, no question, but is it an advantage that gives the Bobcats a win where they otherwise would have lost, or is it something where the Grizz might be a few points behind when it comes to home field advantage, but are able to overcome that? That's so hard to know, especially with how good both teams are right now.
A great matchup. Montana State won it earlier this season, not so long ago. Last game of the regular season of the Brawl of the Wild. Now it's a rematch in the FCS semifinals. I think it's great, man. It's something. It's as big as you can get outside of a national championship. It's a shot to go to the big show. Cats hosting the Grizz on Saturday afternoon. I just saw these ticket prices, Victor, before I let you run. On SeatGeek, that's the official, third party there from Montana State. They said you can get tickets on SeatGeek. Just to get in, I saw one over $500 just to get in. That's like way up. And then you want one down by the Grizz, like behind their bench. It was almost $4,000. I mean, are people going to buy those tickets?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess with the tickets. I can only imagine what people who have to look into this or want to go to the game are dealing with, or have wanted to go to the game. It's a sellout already, but yeah, it's crazy. They allotted a certain amount of tickets before the game, and then they gave it to season ticket holders to kind of sell, and then it goes on the secondary market. So I don't want to go through necessarily all the ins and outs of that, but it's just a mess, and I'm sure somebody will find a way to pay for it. I mean, it's one of those things where I think twice as many people that are at the game would want to go to the game at least, but so the demand is there, no question, and that's why these prices are so high, because they can charge $4,000 or whatever it is. And people will pay it, even if it's just on a credit card or something like that. So
that's crazy.
Certainly, there's probably enough people that have the money, but yeah, I know it's just crazy.
It is
going on with that, but not surprised.
That has to be the hottest ticket in the FCS playoffs that I've seen ever. I mean, I don't know when I've seen a game like that. Montana's visiting Montana State. I'll be watching it Saturday afternoon. The college football playoffs on, but we're going to be watching Montana State. I know that. Victor Flores covers it for 406 MT Sports. Bobcat writer. Find him on X at Victor Flores 406. Enjoy the game, man. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot. Victor Flores on the Nate Brown Show here in South Dakota, talking FCS and the Bobcats hosting the Grizz. That has to be the hottest ticket ever. Here's what happened there. Montana State, something about, they had their season ticket holders, and then they gave each season ticket holder another chunk of tickets. So if you're a season ticket holder, you had the big advantage. You got more tickets than anybody. And so, and then people were mad. It's like, what? I have to buy my ticket from a season ticket holder? So that's how that mess turned out. And then they got the SeatGeek. Tickets are expensive. My brother lives up there still. Wonder if he has a ticket. Maybe I should hit the road. Hey, you got a ticket? It's a hot ticket. I appreciate Victor coming on tonight. We'll come right back. Let's start up happy hour. So, are you watching the FCS playoff games this weekend? Because we always have this argument in the state. FCS is the thing, man. It's the deal. This is the real playoff. But are you watching the FCS playoff games or the college football playoff? Let's start happy hour with Rob Kagron. He's live in studio next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
You never know what kind of weather Mother Nature has planned. Be ready in a 4x4 or all-wheel drive from Denny Menlo Toyota. Shop a great selection of used trucks and sport utilities and the area's best selection of used Toyotas and Toyota certified pre-owned. Get financing as low as 4.99% APR for up to 60 months on certified pre-owned, including RAV4s. See us at Denny Menlo Toyota or DennyMenloToyota.com. 1887 per 1,000 finance, regardless of down. Offers with qualified credit expires 1/5/26.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Attention sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street, featuring 4 full courts for basketball and volleyball. E3 Sports Complex is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Happy holidays, everyone. I'm here with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales, and you have some last-minute gift ideas.
That we do. For someone who has everything, we have gift certificates for automotive detailing packages and for remote start systems. And with each gift certificate purchase, get a $15 Walmart gift card, but only till December 31st.
So you're giving away a $15 Walmart gift card with every detail or remote start gift certificate?
Yes, sir, and our complete details start at $219 for sedans and from $249 for most pickups and SUVs.
And on the remote starts?
We have Drone Mobile and Arctic Start remote start systems from just $369. And yes, get a $15 Walmart gift card with any gift certificate purchased for a remote start system too. Call us for more information or if you have any questions.
Get your gift certificates today, but only till December 31st. Anytime Auto Sales, service and detail. The place for price and trust on everything automotive. AnytimeAnytime.com or the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
One more time.
All right, let's get it going tonight. The Nate Brown Show is on. Welcome into the second hour. We are driven by Summit Automotive Group when it comes to pre-owned selection in South Dakota. Start at SummitAutoGRP.com. When it comes to car buying built around you, find out the Summit difference. SummitAutoGRP.com. Great pre-owned selection right now on your phone. The Nate Brown Show on. Rob Kegron is in. Thursday happy hour as we get set for a huge weekend of football. I mean, just massive football. You got Thursday night tonight, Seattle and Rob's favorite Super Bowl, team, the Rams. But so you got Seattle Rams. You've got college football playoff, Alabama, Oklahoma tomorrow. Then Saturday's just juiced. I mean, college. You've got NFL. You've got huge games all day long on Saturday. So I have a question tonight, and Rob, you're not like you've come to learn the FCS and the brand of South Dakota State and North Dakota State and the hype and the passion in this part of the country. But FCS outside of here, like, do people in Philadelphia even know Villanova's playing on? I mean, they might, but it's not like, hey, we got to watch Villanova Saturday night.
Yeah, there might be.
I don't know what's. Oh, hang on. We got you. Now you're ready. Go ahead.
All right, Nate. Now here we go. There might be, obviously, I think around Philadelphia, there are people who know and are into Villanova.
Yeah.
And there isn't a whole lot of college football in the Philadelphia area. Obviously, there's Penn State for the whole state of Pennsylvania. But no, I mean, particularly on the Northeast, most of those big cities, Boston, New York, Philly, D.C., Baltimore, there isn't any great attachment or connection or even any kind of knowledge base of the FCS. I mean, I knew that these teams existed, certainly before I moved out here, but I would have been hard-pressed to tell you who was playing in a playoff game.
And think about this. Villanova's hosting Illinois State.
Yep.
Saturday night, and it's going up against Packers Bears.
Yep.
And James Madison, Oregon.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like, what number is that going to get? That's going to get
Is it
nothing.
on ESPN2? Is the game on ESPN2? I don't even know if it is. I mean, if it's on ESPN2, it will get something, but not much. I mean, you got that Packer-Bear game is going to do a huge number.
Yes.
And you'll get enough gambling interest on the night game, the James Madison game, so there'll be people paying attention to that for those purposes. The problem with a game like this, like the Villanova game, is when you have gambling purpose, you're not going to get the casual fan, right? You're only going to get diehards who are into FCS. Maybe fans of whoever wins the Montana State game watch that game because they want to know who they're going to play.
But how many of those fans are Packer fans as well? I mean, there's a bunch.
Of course.
I just had a Packer fan text the show and say, I'm watching the Packers. And he's an FCS fan. He's a diehard FCS fan. He goes, I'm watching the Packers. Somebody else just, Patrick said, Packers Bears is on. Is there any other games?
Yeah, I mean
Packers Bears. So I did ask the audience tonight because we have FCS following here. Which game? I didn't ask him about Packers Bears because I think that's bogus. By the way, the NFL dipping in on Saturday nights. I think that's bad. But which games will you be watching the most Saturday? And I meant college football playoff or the FCS. I wanted to see because people say, "Hey, I'm into the FCS." Even though South Dakota State, USD, NDSU, they're out. I'm going to watch that. So here's the poll result now. And I will ask the audience on the text line. Some people have said they are watching the FCS playoffs more than the FBS. But 58% of our audience tonight said, I'm watching the college football playoff. 42% will watch the FCS semifinal.
I can't believe it's that high. I mean, I would have guessed it would have been 20%, right?
I guess it might be Montana State's pretty intriguing in the middle of the day.
But that game's on at 2 o'clock, is it not?
2:30.
Yep. Okay, so 2:30. I could kind of understand that. The first college football playoff game is the game of the day, right? Texas A&M and Miami. And then you have, the two games.
Tulane, Ole Miss.
Yeah, you have these two games later in the day that have, big underdogs. So I could kind of understand the Montana State one because that game will be done before the Packer game. But I don't see how anyone's watching the night game over either the college football playoff or the NFL.
Montana State, I think, is on ABC, too.
Yeah.
That's on ABC.
But again, why? There's plenty of days around the holidays where we can put these games on and people will watch. Why on earth would we clog these games into a Saturday? I know Tuesdays and Wednesdays are not the greatest TV days in the world, but Tuesday, December 23rd, and this just came to me like moments ago when you said we were going to talk about it. Tuesday, December 23rd, I looked at the schedule. There are no NFL games. There are 3 bowl games, and none of them are good. None of them are good teams.
Right.
Put these games on back-to-back on Tuesday evening, the 23rd. People are already home. A lot of people don't go to work on Christmas Eve as it is. You'd absolutely get into this.
Well, somebody made a mistake. I mean, now the NFL's dipping into the college football playoff, and that's something. I don't like that.
I disagree with you. This is college's fault, because if college would get their act together, yes. They
run out of time. When are they going to play these? It's college football Saturday. When's the NFL played? Sunday. Put it on Sunday. You don't have to put these games on Saturday.
No, you and I are both NFL junkies who want every opportunity we get for standalone games.
What do you mean? I want to watch Illinois State, Villanova. Oh, anyway.
No, you don't. But for the college football, if they would get their act together and move their season up a week and get it done a week earlier, they could. They're going too long as it is, Nate. I mean, they're going to go to, what, January 20th?
Yes, you can't fit everything in like this. By the way,
yes, you can.
Hey, when did we start doing these Saturday games? Just a few years ago.
It's been quite a while for Saturday. Towards the end of the season. Towards the end of the season.
Yeah, towards the end of the season. Yeah. It's bogus. You don't need to do it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And if college were smart, they'd get further ahead, and they'd absolutely go a week earlier. You'd have that whole. Think about last Saturday. Move the Army-Navy game a week earlier, because that got to be a standalone game. Get rid of the conference championships. Make these 4 games the Saturday that we just passed. There was no NFL on. You'd have Friday night and all-day Saturday to yourselves.
Yeah, but they want the Army-Navy game standalone, and that's part of the deal. And so they don't want to put it in the last week of the regular season and all of that stuff with the conference championships.
You've got to get rid of the conference championship. Something has to give. The way that they've created this system, you're right. There's no reason why these two. Now, you're against the NFL with it. I think it's all a product of college football being so disorganized.
NFL's a mess. You're going Friday night games during the high school football season. You're going Saturday games during the playoff. How much more do you want?
They haven't done any Friday.
How much more? Oh, they do Friday. They only do that opening game.
Yeah, but they're not going to. They're not going to do that next year, Nate. They're not going to. They're not allowed to do it because of the way Labor Day works. That's why they did it the last 2 years. There will not be a Friday game next year.
They're taking every ounce of real estate, and they don't want anybody to have anything. And I think it's wrong, actually. But you know what else is wrong? Netflix having 2 Christmas games and Amazon having the other game. So we got into that. By the way, let me get to this college football playoff tomorrow night. Rob Kagron in studio, happy hour on the Nate Brown Show tonight. So I asked the question of the day because I haven't changed my mind on Kalen DeBoer. I think he wants to stay at Alabama. I think Kalen DeBoer wants to stay at Alabama. I wonder if he loses tomorrow night, does he take a second look at the Michigan job? Because the Michigan beat writer told me last week on this show, the search starts with Kalen DeBoer. And they haven't said anything. They're kind of just waiting right now. They're waiting. Kalen DeBoer, they're gonna say, here's some money, here it is. You've been in the Big Ten. You can have success here. We're gonna rock and roll. Alabama, the hot seat, anytime you lose. You lose to Oklahoma tomorrow night. If you're Kalen DeBoer, do you take a second look?
No, I wouldn't. You have too many. No, because I think Michigan.
They're trying to kick you out of there all the time.
Couple of reasons. And it is a tough base, right? Because they had so much success with Saban. I get it, right? I get that fan base is probably a little too spoiled, expects way too much too quickly. But DeBoer is building something. He definitely seems to have a quarterback right now. Again, yeah, they had a rough loss against Florida State, but they did beat Georgia this year. I know they lost in the championship game. They beat Georgia this year, right? That is a big win for them.
You think they're going to take... So if they lose tomorrow night, you think... That's Oklahoma. That's not like a gimme. It's at Oklahoma. They'll think that's a tragedy. They will go... on Monday, people are going to be going off on that on First Take and everything else.
They will, particularly because it'll be the second time they've lost to Oklahoma this year. And I get that. But he didn't make the playoff last year. He did make it this year. He basically won the SEC. Forget the SEC title game. He won the regular season SEC. They were the number 1 seed going into that. They lost to Georgia. They beat Georgia and they lost Georgia. I don't understand if I'm DeBoer I get all the resources at my fingertips. I get that the noise around it gets loud. But you want to go try to rebuild a mess, what will be a mess again? Well, you think
they got a nice quarterback? They didn't have it. It's not like they're 4-8 here.
You think this is going to stay intact with all of the nonsense and mess that is going on around Michigan right now? It's going to take a couple of years to rebuild that again. And I absolutely, where do I want to be? Do I want to be at the best football school in America? Maybe other than Georgia, right? But Bama has way more of a history than Georgia does. Or do I want to go to, not to say that Michigan doesn't have a great history. It certainly does. If I'm a big-time coach, I've only had 2 years there. I have to show that I can win here before I go jump ship to go to Michigan.
I think he wants to do that, honestly. And I said that last week. I said, I think Kalen DeBoer, I've had him on the show. I don't know him personally and, do all this stuff, but I think just from his character and loyalty, I think he wants to stay. But it's hot. It gets hot, even after just one loss. So everybody's going to rip him apart if they lose to Oklahoma tomorrow night. Just watch. And I said, would you take a second look at Michigan? Here's the audience so far. 56% of the Nate Brown Show audience said, no, I would stay in Alabama. 44% would take a second look.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think that Michigan is the attractive job that it once was.
Well, I mean, you act like this thing just fell apart. I mean, all the coach fell apart. The program, I think, is doing okay.
I mean, the program has had problems since Harbaugh left. Let's be fair, right? It's not as if they are.
It's only been a year, basically.
Two. I mean, two. He's been gone two full years now, and I just don't see Michigan on that level year in, year out like Alabama is. You can win every single... Think about it. DeBoer wasn't that great last year, and it wasn't like they were a bad team. They just weren't their normal self. I agree. Tomorrow night, if they lose, he's absolutely going to take a lot of heat. Now, I don't think they're going to lose.
National championship games. That's what they expect now, even though Saban wasn't even there the last year or two either. That's what they expect. They don't expect just making the playoff. Come on, that's easy.
Yeah, it should be. It should be a given every year for a team like Alabama, particularly when you have 12 teams in the playoff. But I think he's headed in the right direction, and I think they would. I think first of all, I think Bama would be making a massive mistake if they pushed him out or pushed him to go reconsider and look at the Michigan jump. Who are you going to get to replace him right now?
Just watch. The fans, when they if they lose, I don't know if they will. I think they should win, but if they lose, they're going to go crazy. And you know it.
Who are you stealing a coach from right now? Where's this coach coming from to replace? At least when Saban retired, it was all kind of a little bit orchestrated,
yes.
Where there was an opportunity to go get a guy who had just been in the national championship game, Kalen DeBoer. Well, you don't have that now. Where are you going to get that from?
And Kalen's going to have quite the offseason. By the way, if they do win tomorrow night, then they get number 1 Indiana. And then if they lose that, people are going to be mad. I mean, they're just going to be mad. That's my point in Michigan. It's high priority and expectations, but it's a little... I mean, they had Sharon Moore and all the things that were going on. Interesting. Coming right back, let's go to this. This company is looking to take bets, essentially predictions, on if players are going to enter the transfer portal. Yeah, you heard that. So there's a company who's filing paperwork to say, we might want to take bets on this type of stuff. Where are we going? Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
All kinds of vehicles, all kinds of loans, all as low as 4.99% APR. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're here to help all kinds of people, just like you. Get moving. From truck drivers to van warriors, we got the right loan to fit your style with rates as low as 4.99% APR. Wherever the road takes you, start with BHFCU. Apply today at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818.
Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member owned and insured by NCUA.
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
The last great sale of the year is on at Danny Menno Rapid Chevrolet. Shop over 375 used vehicles, GMCs, Rams, Fords, Chevys, imports, and more, including GM certified pre-owned with qualified credit, buy with no money down, and make no payments until spring 2026. Local and national lenders available and all applications accepted, and lower rates mean lower payments. Plus, buyers on site paying top dollar for all trades. Hurry! The last great sale of the year ends January 2nd at Danny Meno Rapid Chevrolet or DannyMenoRapidChevrolet.com.
We all know the drill. Packing the car, hitting the airport, traveling all over the country so our kids can play in tourneys in another state. But imagine bringing those tournaments to Rapid City. Year-round entertainment, shopping, dining. Millions in new revenue for Rapid City instead of Sioux Falls, Denver, or Omaha. A yes vote supports the sports complex. We win by showing up and voting yes on January 20th. Join the team at TeamRapidCity.com. Paid for by Citizens for Responsible Growth.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows dip down to about 24 tonight under partly cloudy skies, winds out of the south 8 to 15 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun again tomorrow, rain likely. High temperatures reach up to 61. Overcast skies tomorrow night, mixed precipitation likely 27. A dusting of snow tomorrow night. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 27 degrees.
Kickoff just got bigger. Murphy's Pub and Grill is back with NFL Sunday Ticket. That means every game, every team, every Sunday. Right here at your favorite bar. Cheer loud, eat big, and score with Murphy's game day specials on food and drinks. The atmosphere, electric. The staff, legendary. The screens, everywhere. This season, don't just watch football. Experience it. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, baby. Murphy's Pub and Grill, your new football headquarters. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com.
Life changes fast. Starting a business, getting married, buying a house, growing your family. Have you taken steps to protect your family's financial future? Don't let life insurance be the thing that slides. It can help your family during difficult times. Lee Cruz with New York Life Insurance Company can help you get started. He's local and will help you find the right policy to fit your needs and budget. You can Google Lee Cruz New York Life or call 605-360-8804. That's Lee Cruz New York Life. Protect your family.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live every afternoon drive. Thanks for being here on Fox Sports Radio. The Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board. Rob Kegron's live in studio. A Thursday happy hour as we get set for the holidays next week. It's kind of coming up fast. You have all your Christmas shopping done and all of that.
95%.
Whoa.
I got a couple more things, but I'm a good planner. I get a lot of things done as early on as I possibly can. I finished up a little bit the other day and a couple more things, but that's about it.
I'm going to be going when that big game, Illinois State Villanova, is on Saturday night.
You're one of those guys. I can tell you, and I know you pretty well at this point. You're one of those guys rushing out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Christmas Eve for a couple more things.
Not that late. Not that late, but
23rd?
I like being spontaneous.
It's a creative way to say you delay things.
I just like thinking it through. We don't want to rush things. By the way, tonight you got Seattle Rams. We're going to make our picks coming up. Seattle Rams. Seattle favored by 1.5 tonight. That's interesting to me. Doug Gottlieb has called it quits on the radio side here on Fox Sports Radio, so we got to take on that. First, let me get this story that listeners are going to be, I don't know if they're going to be like just baffled by this or not. So I haven't really heard of this company, but I guess like we had this windstorm in South Dakota. It's still windy East River and just unbelievable wind last night in Rapid City and West River, record-setting winds. There's a company, it's called the Leading Prediction Market Exchange. And it's called Kalshi. And they legally offer trading on real-life events. And the reason I mentioned the wind, like you can make trades on the weather.
Yep.
How windy it's going to be, how much snow, stuff like this. So you can make trades and make predictions. So I haven't done this. So Kalshi is doing paperwork. They just filed paperwork with the Trading Commission. They want to allow people to wager on whether a college athlete will enter the transfer portal. So now they're, oh boy, Oh, what a good idea. So now we're going to put Tommy up there, and he's going to be on Kalshi, the trading, and we can put wagers down on, we think he's going to enter the transfer portal. And if it is a yes, the yes side would win if the player publicly states their intention to go to the transfer portal January 2nd. A no, presumably being a winning bet if the portal closes and the player stays with his team. What are we doing? Are you surprised at all?
No, I'm not surprised.
Huh? We're going to go to college kids and what they're going to do now?
I'm not surprised because people will gamble on anything that's possible. Now, I think it's, as someone who likes to gamble and likes it a lot.
Is this too much?
I think this is a ridiculous thing to gamble on, but should it be allowed? Yeah, I just don't understand why they would want to allow it. I'm talking about the betting market, and I've heard of this, Kalshi. Why would you want to allow for bets on something that you could get real inside information on, right?
Yes.
We could find out from these kids, and you don't think that this is probably the easiest thing to manipulate in betting is someone's decision, right? Like, we've already seen it in the NBA, right? We've seen it in Major League Baseball. We've seen manipulation of, like, the player prop stuff. Isn't this the ultimate player prop in a sense that the kid decides if he's going in or not? Like, he could throw the markets off by telling everyone he's going in, bet the other side, and like, I'm staying. I love being a Cornhusker, right? Like, but he told, he got that message out through other people. So should it be allowed? If people want to gamble on it, go right ahead. But I think it's ridiculous for a betting market to allow a possible manipulation to this extreme.
So Kalshi spokesperson said today, because the NCAA came down hard. They're like, I can't believe they're even filing paperwork on this. This is bad. Charlie Baker, the president, just came down hard. He said, we can't have this. Student athletes facing harassment and abuse on stuff like this. This is going to be ugly. Kalshi said, we haven't done it yet. I mean, that was their statement. We haven't added this bet yet. They have filed the paperwork to maybe do this on the transfer portal.
Yeah, again, I think it's crazy, but what I can take seriously is Charlie Baker and the NCAA.
I know.
I've killed them, and you have before many a time on this show. The NCAA is a joke. It is one of the most poorly run organizations in the entire world. And for them to be, now they're going to stand on their high horse and say, we can't allow this when they've messed up everything else in collegiate sports for decades upon decades. I can't take them seriously. I just think it's, if I had my own sports book, I would never offer something like this because it would be way too easy to be manipulated where I could lose.
Well, Kalshi says, no, we've got all the same guardrails in place and all the regulations set. We're going to see if anybody manipulates this, and we're going to throw out the bets.
Of course. They can say that all they want, right? I mean, there's a lot of ways to get the word out that someone is going to jump into the portal or not jump into the portal. I think you're asking for a huge mess, way worse than the things that we've seen in the NBA and Major League Baseball.
Kalshi and other prediction markets offer trading on a wide range of stuff, and now Kalshi's filed paperwork on whether a college athlete will or won't enter the transfer portal. I don't think they'll have that up by January 2nd, guys. So sorry to tell you, you probably won't be able to bet on this yet if they move forward with it. I would have liked to see what the over-under is on the wind speed last night in western South Dakota. What do we take? Over 85. Hey!
A lot of overs would have won.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. They do that weather stuff. By the way, speaking of transferring and moving, so I got to get to this topic. Now, the audience is going to say, I like this guy, or this guy's a bum. I don't like this guy. Fox Sports Radio, I will tell you this. So I know Doug Gottlieb just through all of my interactions with him. He's come on this show many times, and he's done it during the NCAA basketball tournament. He's been very gracious. I met Doug in L.A. 7 years ago, and I would say out of all the people that I've met from the media side, and I met the guys out there, Doug was the easiest going. He was down to earth. He's like, whatever you need, let me know. It's all good. And then you call him, you talk to him. You can tell if guys are good off the air.
Absolutely.
And he's good off the air. So I have a lot of respect. Whether you hate Doug, you like Doug, whatever it is, his show. He's had a long career. CBS, ESPN, now Fox Sports Radio. Doug Gottlieb tried this experiment for a year. He's going to be a Fox Sports Radio national host, and a Division I men's basketball coach at Green Bay. And I said from the start, I think you and I did a segment on it. We said, how's he going to be able to do a national radio show for 2 hours?
Yep.
And then a college basketball coach? We're talking about stress and time and the whole thing. Well, he can't. So last night, just at a press conference after the Green Bay game, he said he's done with his Fox Sports Radio national show. He's going to shift to a podcast and record it, a couple of times. And so Gottlieb's out. I'm not surprised by it because I just didn't think he could keep it up because he is on the air every day. He doesn't miss shows. He's not like in and out and up and down, taking trips to wherever. So he's out. Was there anybody at fault here? Was there anybody trying to pull this off? Doug said he could do it, and I don't doubt he thought he could. I don't see how he could do it. You've done a show. I've done a show every day. You want to be a D1 coach on top of it?
Yeah, to me, there is someone at fault, and I like the guy too, and I like his radio show. I think he's highly entertaining. He's very smart on not just basketball, but all sports. I think it's Doug's fault. I think he was trying too hard to keep his foot in the media world while wanting to, because Doug has made it very clear over the years that he's wanted to be in coaching, right? He's many times over the years, he's talked about it. At some point, you got to make a decision, right? I'm sure most listeners could figure out that it's not as easy as just turning the microphone on and starting to talk, right?
You would think.
I would hope you would know that, right? There's a lot of prep that goes into it. You're first of all, you're watching games, right? So this is, to me, the biggest problem with trying to coach a Division I college basketball program and do a national sports talk radio show. You're going to think about all the time that goes into just the college basketball part, the coaching.
Yes, huge. We don't even know that, but
practice, watching film, game planning, right? Meeting with your other coaches, meeting with the players, the travel for it all. All of those things are a full-time job, even at a smaller school like Green Bay. Think about what you have to do a national radio show. Watching the sports at night. When does he get to watch the games, right? He gets to watch games when he's playing or practicing or meeting, reading up on what's going on in all of the sports, paying attention to columnists and beat writers and all of the things that you have to get, and then prep for a show. Think about who the guests are going to... Yeah, he has producers, no doubt about it.
You got to have questions.
I got to come up with a question. Nobody's handing Nate Brown the questions to ask the guest, right? You might get input from Matt. You might get input from people you know, but it ultimately comes down to your shoulders. I got to come up with the questions. I got to make sure the conversation's flowing. My mind during a 2-hour show, if it's on anything else, the show's going to stink. Let's be honest, right?
Correct.
And if his mind is on what happened in last night's Green Bay game and how they lost a nail biter, it's very hard to do these two things. And I admire him for trying, but it's his own fault for trying. This is not something you can do.
It's interesting. You say it's Doug's fault. That's interesting because I look at Green Bay. If I'm the AD, and by the way, the AD there was in South Dakota. He was at Northern for a while, so he has some ties to South Dakota, the AD at Green Bay. I think he's probably like, hey, we got a national radio host. He's going to be talking about University of Wisconsin Green Bay basketball. That's huge branding, and I think it was. But if I'm the AD, I'm going, wait. You got to go 100% to this. You got to go 100% to this. And I know you're going to do a radio show. I would have had reservations. I would have. I don't think you can go, hey, you can do that job over there and then still do this job full time. I would have had reservations. I also think they have responsibility.
I would have had reservations too, but I think your point is well taken. He brings press, publicity, spotlight to a team that you and I, quite frankly, would never, ever think about.
That is right, and didn't help them much last year. They they didn't win too much.
They were
now
bad.
They're 6-7 this year, so they're better. I think they only won 4 games all of last year. They're 6-7. Doug Gottlieb is done. I don't know if it's his last show tomorrow, but here on Fox Sports Radio, Doug Gottlieb will be on tomorrow, and they say we'll let Doug discuss kind of the future. But he said he's done at Fox Sports Radio with the Daily Show. Coming right back on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Let's go to tonight's game, Seattle Rams. I want to break it down. And then a listener question about the Giants and Vikings. Oh, boy, coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
This holiday season, Renewal by Andersen wants to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to our valued customers. Thank you for choosing us to be part of your home. Whether you're peeking out your window to watch the snow or welcoming friends through your front door, we're honored to be part of your story, sending warm wishes to you and your loved ones in the hope that 2026 brings you health and happiness. From everyone at Renewal by Andersen, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome in. The Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio. We're built by Blackburn Foundation Repair. When it's winter time, make sure your crawl space is dry, your air is clean, your family's safe. Blackburn Foundation Repair keeps your foundation secure. Sometimes things crack. You want to make sure it's a strong structure. Local experts in South Dakota since 1992. This is the company that you want to work with. Certified team across South Dakota. Wherever you're at, log on to blackburnrepair.com. Take your home off the injured list. They've got your back. BlackburnRepair.com. Remember them when from crawl space to clean air. Blackburn's got you. BlackburnRepair.com. The Nate Brown Show with Rob Cagron in studio. It's Thursday happy hour. Before we get to our picks, we got some games here this weekend of the NFL, so we'll give our picks against the spread. I want to just touch on this one tonight. Since you've crowned them, the Rams. Why are they underdogs tonight?
Makes no sense to me, Nate. I get the home field. Seattle still is a great home field advantage. Seattle, I know they have 11 wins, and I know your amazing, passionate adoration for Sam Darnold and how great he can be. But who have they beat this year? They've beat no one. The Rams should be... I get that usually you would say home field gets you about 3 points, right? So they're saying that the Rams would be a 1.5 favorite, but you go 3 the other way, and so you get Seahawks minus 1.5. I think the Rams, even on the road, should be a 3-point favorite to Seattle because Seattle's beat no one. Yeah, they beat the Colts. What's their great win? I guess a home win against Houston and C.J. Stroud, maybe a road win at Jacksonville, but that was when Jacksonville wasn't playing that well. Think about the last handful of games that they've won, Nate. They beat Washington, Arizona. They lost to the Rams. They beat Tennessee, the lowly Vikings, the Falcons, and the Colts. I mean, the Colts with Phillip Rivers, 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. I don't understand how this is a one.
You don't
to me,
see
this
it.
is
You don't
wrong
see it.
team favored. Wrong team. Could Seattle beat the Rams at home with no Devontae Adams? I get that as a factor in the spread as well. Could they beat them at home? Of course they could.
Well, you
should they
just
be
said-
favored? No, they should not be favored to win the game.
But so you're taking the Rams.
On the money line. I already have. I've put the money in already.
Yeah, I assume that. So Seattle's favored by 1.5. You're missing something with Seattle. You're just missing something because unless you think Las Vegas is a bunch of dummies.
No, I don't. And these are usually the games that get me in trouble when I feel like they are completely wrong and I'm completely right. Usually it doesn't end in my favor. But I would not be shocked if Seattle won the game. But you don't think they should be favored in this game, do you?
That's why I brought it up. I mean, I put it in our segment tonight because I said, wait, Seattle's favored by 1.5. Everybody's crowning the Rams. Everybody thinks the Rams are untouchable, but there must be something wrong. Oh, it might be because they just lost to a bad team a couple of weeks ago. Remember that?
Yeah, of course. And I don't think they're untouchable by any means. I just think that talent-wise, up and down, they are a better team than Seattle is. And I don't trust Sam Darnold.
You're so biased on that. You think Sam's just going to lay an egg, and so you just loaded it up tonight because it's Sam. That's why. That's why I put it in here too.
What?
I put it in because I wanted you to just berate Sam, and then Seattle wins tonight.
What did he do against the Rams about a month ago? How many interceptions did he throw in that game? 4? Is that right? Did he throw? Yeah, 29 of 44, 4 interceptions against the Rams.
Having a pretty nice year. Having a pretty nice year, though.
He is having a pretty nice year, but again, he's played against nobody, and it's not like he didn't do a whole lot in the Indianapolis game either. Let's be fair, that too. 4 interceptions last time he played the Rams. Now, do I expect him to do the same? No, I do not. But if we remember, the Rams are his bugaboo. Remember when the Vikings played the Rams in the playoff last year? And they got
I do remember
spanked.
that. I do remember that. All right, Seattle Rams. So just watch that one tonight. It'll be fun. Let's make our picks for the NFL weekend. Vikings Giants. I just had a Vikings fan text in and he said, "This is an easy game for my Vikings." We'll see. Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Deck the halls with holiday scratch tickets, scratch. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Good fun. Give the gift that makes them happy. Scratch. It's the perfect stocking stuffer. Selling total lottery.
Good fun. Must be 18 to play. Please play and give responsibly.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for Atomic Wings, 2 locations in Sioux Falls. You don't need to keep going to the mediocre wing places with too much breading and wings that don't have any meat. Atomic Wings is different. I know firsthand. Their boneless wings are made with fresh chicken right there. The best wings I've had. 15 unique flavors to choose from sweet to heat. Huge traditional wings, fresh boneless wings for game day, lunch, or dinner. 2 locations in Sioux Falls. Just order at atomicwings.com. Atomicwings.com.
In the studio today, I have Weston and Denise Chapman, owners of Black Hills Tire. What kind of diesel services does Black Hills Tire specialize in?
Black Hills Tire is really going to focus on a lot of new diesel services. We're doing factory maintenance and service. We're doing fuel system diagnostics and repair. We're going to do engine repair, even all the way into engine overhauls and engine removals and installation, whether it's driveline components and repair, transmission service, transmission and clutch replacements, brakes. We're doing everything. Check us out at blackhillstire.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows dip down to about 24 tonight under partly cloudy skies. Winds out of the south, 8 to 15 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun again tomorrow. Rain likely. High temperatures reach up to 61. Overcast skies tomorrow night. Mixed precipitation likely 27. A dusting of snow tomorrow night. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 27 degrees.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Okay, we got to rock, man. We got to rock through this. We got to get our picks in tonight on the Nate Brown Show to leave you ready for the NFL weekend on Fox Sports Radio. So let's get into this right now. You know we have to do Packers and Bears. Packers at the Bears. I just saw it was -1 BetMGM Sportsbook. Packers favored by 1 at Chicago.
I like Chicago in this game, Nate. I think they'll learn their lessons from a couple of weeks ago. I think the fact that they're home, no Micah Parsons, and I think Ben Johnson generally is very competitive against the Packers, and I think they're going to find a way to eke out a very tight game.
No way, no how. Give me the Packers. The Packers are going to beat the Bears. They always beat the Bears. They are mad about the loss to the Broncos. Give me the Packers -1. Hit it. Hey, we had a Vikings fan say this is an easy game against Rob Kegron's Giants. Vikings favored by 3. Is that easy?
I mean, I don't hate. I like knocking the Vikings every chance I possibly can get. But I don't have any faith in my team whatsoever, and I want the #1 pick. Vikings -3. I think the Vikings trounce the Giants.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm going to go Vikings -3 as well. They'll win 3 in a row. Give me JJ. Oh, what is he? 9? Give me the 9. Alter ego, JJ McCarthy. Rob loves it for next year. Let's go Jaguars, Broncos. Broncos -3 at home. They should be able to do that, right? Give me the Broncos -3.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is up and down way too much. He played very well last week. He's playing against the real defense on the road. I have to take the Broncos -3 as well.
Doesn't that sound like Trevor Lawrence and the Jags don't play good in Denver? Doesn't it feel like that?
This seems to me a complete letdown for the Jags after a big, a convincing win last week. You don't go into Denver and perform that way. I think they're gonna get their butts kicked.
Okay, Broncos -3. We're on the same page there. Vikings -3. We're on the same page there. Last game before we let you run, Patriots Ravens. What is this? Ravens favored by 3?
The Ravens need this game. It's a home game. They absolutely need it to stay pace with the Steelers. That division is going to come down to those two teams, and it might come down to the last week of the season. I am very hesitant about this, but I think that New England showed enough issues last week. I'm going to take the Ravens -3.
I am as well.
Wow.
I'm not a big believer in New England. You love him. He loves New England and the Rams, just so you're aware. New England and the Rams. We're not going to let you switch. Ravens -3. I think Vrabel will be all ticked off after the game. Enjoy the weekend. Rob Kegron out. The Nate Brown Show podcast going up. Thanks for listening. Great guests all week long. A huge football weekend. We are back on Monday. See ya.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Store.